But it was, okay, perfect. We are recording. So it was split right down the middle as far as the time goes. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to see which one, I'm going to keep both times as long as they service you and they service myself, meaning that you show up. If you don't show up, I can't do it, unfortunately. I don't know if you've ever seen our workload here at Beachbody Corporate. It's a little intense. So with that being said, I will 100% commit to you if you can 100% commit to me. Now, I know there's several coaches that cannot be on due to work and whatnot. That's completely fine. Just make sure that you are in contact with me so I know what is going on and how I can hold you accountable, because that's really what it's all about. Now, we know we are so much, Emily, what's up, girlfriend? We are so much better together. I rather you work together, meaning you are all in the trenches. You're all working extremely hard. And then, of course, I'm here to support, bring a guideline so we stay on track. But most importantly, you'll learn more together. We know that, right? Okay, cool. I talk fast, sorry. But I have a lot to get through here. But along with it, the expectation is, yes, you need to show up. Okay, no matter what, make that a commitment to yourself. This is a bi-weekly call. Or did we make it a weekly? It's bi-weekly. Bi-weekly. Okay. I'm like, wait a second, because I was just going to say there's no call next week, but we don't have it anyways. It's President's Day and it's bi-weekly, so that works out perfectly. So just make that expectation for yourself, put it in your planner. No excuses. Okay. Make sure that you do show up. That's half of the battle. Even when numbers come out and you're like, oh crap, that stinks. The number one thing when I travel and I meet with coaches, and these are rockstar coaches, the number one thing that they think is if they have a horrible month, that they are not deserving of our time. You are deserving. Show up no matter what. Okay. You'll be inspired. You'll be excited. You'll get back on the path of where you're wanting to go with this. So I'm going to ask some questions because I really want to answer your questions when it comes to the Elite Report, but there's just a couple things I want to go over real quick. Most of you have taken a screenshot of your Elite Goal Guide and sent it to me personally. Please, please, please make sure that you are doing that and literally take a picture with your phone, message it to me. Don't get in the nitty-gritty of sending me anything else. Like, make it simple. The whole point of it is that you're learning to fill it out. How many of you filled it out beforehand? Like before we talked and I set up the expectation? Raise a hands. Said no one ever, right? Okay. This is probably one of the most beautiful things that I can help my coaches with is because, and the reason truly is because you have an opportunity to see where your business is at and not wait for that magical report to appear the second Friday of every single month. But I promise you, you will know where your business is at, which is probably the most beautiful thing, but you can also course correct it. The amount of coaches that I've helped them see, wow, I got SC points, but actually they did not count on the Elite Report or on the Elite Report because they were on HD or, you just really feel like that report is correct. And sometimes it absolutely is. And sometimes it absolutely is not. So this is your opportunity to track your business and know where it is step to step. Do I want you to live in those numbers? Do I want you to literally make it your number one priority? No. If you're frustrated with it, do something about it, right? Get to work. Don't waste your time on it, but make sure you're tracking every time that you do help somebody, because then that way you can really put it together with the Elite Goal Guide that does come out. Okay. Second thing, I think I should have said this probably first, but I am so excited to have all of you on here. I'm excited to be working with the best of the best. And I hand selected each one of you. It wasn't like, hey, Brittany, take these 12 people. And I chose 12 specifically because I'm going to get 15, but I'm going to be very, very cautious on who I add to this because I only want to work with my rockstar coaches. Just like how you only want to work with your rockstar coaches and your rockstar challengers, right? It makes you on your game. It makes you excited. It makes you, wake up with a pep in your step. I wanted the same thing. I want to feed off of your energy. So please, please, please bring that all the time. No matter what, come with a smile on your face. And if you're struggling with something, don't go through it alone. That's where you can personally message me. That's where I can personally help you, so just keep that in mind. But I am so excited to be here and to be part of this amazing tribe of women that really want to excel to the next level with their business. Each of you are a leader, and regardless if you came to this business and you thought you weren't, or that you thought you never would have to be, surprise, you have to be, right? And it's the number one trait that most of my coaches are like, I never for one instance thought that I ever had to be a leader. And I now have to learn that. And it's an amazing trait, and you can absolutely learn it. But the reason why each of you have stepped up and said yes to this is because you fearlessly want to go first with your teams. Okay, you want to fearlessly lead the way. Because the beautiful thing is next year, after you accomplish this big goal, you're going to be able to help your team do the same thing. They won't have to look past you to your upline to see what success is. They're looking at it right in front of them because they see you took the first step, even though it was hairy, scary, and out of control, right? I promise you it gets easier. The first year, yes, is the harder one because you're working towards rank and points. But I really, truly believe if we dial it in and if you truly focus on the 12-week year, you're going to establish that year-end goal that you never even thought was possible because you're going to stop, celebrate your success, which is the number one thing we don't do in this business, right? We hold our breath, and every single one of you, I'm going to call you every step of the way. And you're going to say, oh, I'll celebrate once I become a 5-star diamond. And I'm like, oh my hell. Yes, we're recording. I just said that. But honestly, if not, you're on a hamster wheel and it just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. Okay. The whole point of being a coach and to advance in your business is to enjoy the journey and learn along the way and course correct if you need to. And I promise you that will make it more enjoyable and you're more up to not quit when times get tough because you know the journey and you know the experience that comes along with it. Okay. So I'm going to tie a lot of this to the 12-week year because I think it's so golden for our business. Because we tend to, the first of the year, especially right now in February, I'll ask, say, Amalia, I'm like, okay, what are you working towards? And she's going to say 5-star diamond elite. And literally there's not a reverse plan to make that happen. It's like, okay. And then all of a sudden we get rejuvenated, re-excited after summit. And now she has 3 to 4 months to make it happen. It's like, no, we could have hit each of these benchmarks along the way. And then from there, grown into a very solid 5-star diamond. Because once I get you and help you to get to 5-star diamond, you need to stay there. I say that because you deserve it. You deserve the bonuses. You deserve to have those 4 diamonds, those 4 to 5 diamonds there alongside with you, working with you. Okay. Thanks, Amalia, for letting me use you as an example. But really, ladies, this really comes down to defining what your overlying goal is. I'm excited that, we're starting at the beginning of the year. We're not in November, December and saying, oh crap, what do we need to do? No, we have the opportunity now to really define what those goals are going to be. So you have February, you have March. How many of you have read the 12-week year? Raise your hands. No. Okay, Serena, Emily, Sarah, Ashton didn't raise her hand. I would highly suggest that you reading it now. Perfect, Wendy. I would highly suggest that you read it, probably in the book version. I know that's kind of odd, but you're going to be marking it up like crazy. Deanna's like, and it's hard. So Doug was doing an audible, Joe was doing an audible, and I'm like, how many pages of notes did you take? And they're like, like 12. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like literally old school highlighting, referring back to. But I promise you, if you read that book, you'll have a better way to break down your goals, and you'll understand why you can accomplish more in 12 weeks than most people do accomplish in 12 or in a year, not 12 years. Deanna, I've listened to it. Okay. I'll order the book. Perfect. Yes. And it is one of those ones you probably want to listen to, but you probably want the hard copy as well. But I promise you that will be one of the most influential books that you read this year. And now is your time. Even though we're in February, you are not behind the boat. You have plenty of time to do so. Okay. But the beautiful thing, just like Chalene Johnson teaches in Push, she teaches you to reverse engineer your goals. That's what this is all about. Okay. Just reverse engineering them. And once again, enjoying the journey. And then of course correcting if you need to. Okay. So that's my little plug on that. But I want to go over the elite report. So I just, if you don't mind unmuting yourself, if you want to talk, I would love, this isn't about me, just to let you know. I don't want to sit here and just talk the whole time. I want to hear from you ladies. But how many of you, when you got the elite report, what were your feelings? Talk to me on that. Serena, holy shit. Okay, perfect. Thank you, girlfriend. Thank you for your honesty, okay?
You mean when the first one came out, Brittany? Like the
Correct.
first?
On Friday. Yep. What were your thoughts? This is a new for all of us. Happy? Okay, awesome.
Excited.
Perfect. Thank you. What other feelings did you feel?
I was surprised and what I had accomplished in the first month, because I had no idea. I've just been kind of leading my business in a way of, achieve Success Club 10, help people out. So I actually have never really looked at those reports. And so to see that I'm on track right now, it was kind of exciting.
Yeah. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Who wants to go next? And if yours is pure frustration.
I would say how close everybody is.
I would say how close everybody is, because obviously the 200th coach only has 8 points, so kind of shows how like 1 point can make probably a massive difference. But I'm sure that'll change later in the year, but yeah.
I love that you said that. You're absolutely correct. I didn't even think about that, but yes, I love that. Perfect. So I will tell you here. Yeah, go on.
No, because I like one of my 2016 coaches hit, but it says 0. So do they like go through and fix certain things, or should we like email them and make sure that they like did it correctly? Because
great question. It's probably, and you need to reach out to your coach and make sure that they're on HD. That's probably the reason you will not get those points if they're not on HD. So that's a perfect indicator for you. That's why you need to be tracking your business. So, and which you did, because you're like, okay, I should have had that. So reach out, make sure that they're on HD. If they are, then reach out to me and we can go to the next step, but it's probably because they're not on HD. So you would not get the points.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
That's exactly what happened to me.
Okay. Yeah. And Deanna, okay. But it's an indicator and it helps you course correct now, right? Because if not, we would just be looking at the report and be like, okay, it is correct. Everything looks great. When really, and so just a reminder, if coaches do hit SC, but they're not on HD, you do not get those points. Like they need to be on HD. So just remember that.
Hey, Brittany, I have a question about that. So it has to be HD. It can't just be they ordered something that has enough PV. It has to be HD.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. Great question. Okay, so thank you for expressing kind of, where you're at, and the reason why I bring that up is because this is all brand new. Like literally we got the report Thursday night, and just to let you all ladies know, I do get it the night before. Okay, so just become great friends with me and I'll be reaching out to you. I'm just joking. Did I plug myself just there? No, but really, so we get the night before and looking at it, and I was making calls, because I really keep an eye on your businesses. And then unfortunately they did it incorrectly, and meaning because it's brand new, right? And so it was ran incorrectly. And so the next morning it got reran. So if many of you were like, okay, wait, I saw it, but then it changed. The one in your back office is now correct. Okay. So it's new to all of us, but that CPV category was very interesting because we didn't, and I need to teach on that, the CPV and the PSPV categories. I'm going to do that today. But also you will see that many of our top coaches that are normally just our standard 10, right, that we know are going to be there, weren't there. And this is what it means. It is a playing field for everybody. It is based on leadership development. There was plenty of coaches in the top 10. And the reason why they were in the top 10 is because they had coaches that were in rank or in qualification, and they ended up hitting it in January. Okay. So literally those 25 points that you get when you help a coach rank advance past diamond up to 5-star diamond, those do reflect in that month that it does happen. So if it happened in January, just like what we saw, when we got the report, they indicate that. That's not something that's going to wait until the end of the year. So just remind yourself, like that will play with your ranking as well. The 3 categories that will play with your rank, and now there's 4 obviously, is SC, PSPV, CPV, and now those, can you guys hear me okay? I know it's kind of loud in here. You're good? Okay. And then obviously the ranking qualification, once they do rank advance from 1-star to 5-star diamond, okay? But ATV does not play a part in that. And you're probably all like, okay, hallelujah. First of all, many of you will not see ATV points until probably after Summit. If we played off ATV, our starting coaches would actually always be in the top 10, because if you think about it, that is their overall organization, and literally this allows you to have more of an opportunity because you're working the business. Okay. It's focused on the correct activity. So it's always everything except for ATV. Does that make sense? Okay. From there, let's kind of just teach on the whole, and I'm going to call, because I have all of your numbers here, and I'm going to ask you ladies to share. But just an indicator. So actually, I'm going to ask, Emily's on here and Deanna is on here perfectly. So you ladies, Emily and Deanna, all had actually points in every category, SC, PSPV, and CPV. Obviously not ATV, but you had points in each of those categories. So can I ask both of you ladies, and Deanna, why don't you go first, just to share what your success was, the reason why you actually did have points in each of those categories?
So now I wish I had my list in front of me. Yeah. So I think that, was it the customer, kind of the accrual? Sorry, I'm so new to this.
No, this is great. No,
Okay.
this is perfect. So because your SC was 6, right? So you helped 3 people achieve Success Club, 2016, 2017 coaches.
Correct.
And then you had 2 PSPV points.
Uh-huh.
So you had 1,000 in personal volume with your personally sponsored 2017 coaches, and you had 1 CPV point, so 500 in customer personal volume. So you had points in every category. But do you know, because, and this is kind of what, and I'll kind of throw this out there, and I'm assuming then you'll probably be like, okay, that makes sense. But it shows me that you met them where they were at, meaning if they were a customer, they were a customer. If they're a coach, they're a coach. Okay, so can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So last year, 2016, my goal was to just sign everybody up as discount coaches right off the get-go. And so now what we're doing, since I have my first CBC and my second CBC, and then my husband also has his, and he's actively building along with me, we find that it's more of a benefit to sign them up as customers and then kind of feel, if they're going to continue on Shakeology, then I always offer the coaching discount. But if they're active business builders, then we have more discrepancy on where we want to place them. So if they're going to be an active business builder, we might put them in my first CBC. If they're just kind of a discount coach, we might actually put them in my husband's. It kind of playing with that and having that wiggle room a little bit has really seemed to help.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. What about you, Emily?
So I didn't even realize that I got a point in the Success Club, like in the first, when I sent it to you, until I looked later and saw that I did. And so I guess my question is just to double check. So coaches that are placed in my second business center do count then as like, I do get points for them. Cause I'd always heard last year that I didn't, or that's what I understood, I guess. So
I'll explain that, but yes, they do.
Okay.
Might keep going.
Okay. So I had 1 coach hit Success Club. Honestly, I don't really know like how I got there. I think it was more just I had a goal of signing a certain amount of coaches, hitting high Success Club points, and that just kind of happened. I wish I had a better system. As far as like, it's interesting what you said, Deanna, about signing discount coaches, because that really is how I feel like I built my business up to now, is just I always offer the coaching option. But I see what you're saying, like being more intentional of where you place people. So that's good info. But
Totally. I love it. And Wendy has a great question for you. She said, what are your goals and do you mind sharing them?
I mean, for me, I just want to hit Success Club 20 every month, which, and then it's always been a goal to hit 5 or sign 5 coaches. And that definitely doesn't always happen. And right now I'm still at 0 and it's freaking me out, but that's what I always shoot for. So
perfect.
Absolutely.
Thank you. So, I mean, I think if you take anything from that, ladies, you do really just need to be doing the activities, right? We're not professionals at this. I love Deanna and Emily both said, I don't know, I just do it. That's exactly, when I talk to coaches, like, well, why do you always hit Success Club 20? And it's like, I don't know. My coach just told me I had to do it. And it's like, okay, well, I love that you have great, a great base and a great principles that you're working off of. So those are beautiful answers. So thank you, ladies. I do want to ask, and it looks like Wendy, Miss Wendy had 3 coaches who actually hit Success Club last month. Can you tell me what contributed to your success with your 2016, 2017 coaches doing that?
Yeah, you know what? My recruiting last year, I really focused on builders. And I think it's so tricky because like what I found with opening my second CBC and then having my husband's CBC and then mine, you do need coaches and you do need discount coaches too. And it makes sense because they're saving money. And I think that like it was a balance, but I think the year before I got stuck in just signing coaches who were just interested in the discount just to be adding coaches. Like it kind of made me feel good that I was signing coaches, but they weren't contributing at all to our growth. So last year I really started focusing my postings and my mindset on recruiting builders. And so I was able to recruit some really awesome people last year who kind of hit their stride late in the year and, kind of, I guess, got a grip on things late in the year. And now they're hungry for Success Club. And I have just a few core people who are like in it and they have a big why. And so I think really just recruiting and changing my focus and being confident enough to like be like, why wouldn't people want to be in this and be building a business, and structuring my posts that way versus just trying to fill challenge groups really, I think, will set us up for a good year this year.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm going to ask now Sarah. So Sarah had 2 coaches that also hit SC in January. Do you mind sharing what you did, please?
Sure. The 2 coaches that I had hit Success Club, I think it's because they had big reasons for doing this. So one of them, she's a Canadian coach. They get quite a bit of maternity leave, a lot more than we do here in America. And she has 3 kids and decided she didn't want to go back to work after her maternity leave was up. So she had a big reason for doing this. And so I was just able to show her how hitting Success Club and adding 1 to 2 coaches a month, we're starting there. She's still fairly new, is going to set her up to be able to continue to stay home. And then I have another coach who has a huge financial reason as well for doing this that hit it. She just has been living paycheck to paycheck. So I think just aligning what they want to get out of this with, okay, this is what you can do about it this month, and just going month by month is what helped get those 2 there.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So I had to ask you before you mute yourself, how long do they get in Canada for maternity leave?
She told me a year, which is crazy.
I need to move to Canada.
I know. I'm like, what?
That's so awesome. Very cool. Thank you so much for sharing. So I want to hit on just a couple things with SC, and then we'll move on to the CPV and the PSPV category. But with SC and helping your coaches to achieve that goal, reminder, it needs to be in the expectations when they become an actual coach. So the whole formulation of getting a great coach is obviously meet them where they're at. Have them be a customer, throw them into a challenge group, get them results. From there, hand select who you want on your team. At this point, literally, you should be going into your challenge groups and saying, hey, you'd be an amazing coach. Or better yet, like literally go have them celebrate another coach or another challenger within the group, their success. And then from there, for some reason, if you give them permission to celebrate others, they tend to love it and start to do more of it. And then what happens is they naturally start coaching, and then it's an easy way to just jump in and say, hey, do you realize what you're doing is actually coaching? Have you ever thought of getting your Shakeology paid for? I know how much you love it. And then you can move into something like that. So with helping your coaches see the vision of Success Club, to be honest with you, it needs to be an expectation. It needs to be, hey, you have to help 2 people. You have to get your products paid for because you're going to be on Shakeology forever. But then from there, letting them know, yes, SC5 is amazing. And now we know, things are changing March 1st, right? Shakeology is going up to 2 points, which is incredible. The All Access BOD is going to go to 2 points, right? So it's going to be back to helping 3 people. But what it comes down to, ladies, is really allowing them to see, like, SC5 is great, but literally to set your business up for success now and in the future, Success Club 10. And then from there, each of you are like, okay, that makes sense. But you need to teach them, if they continue to hit SC10, push them out of their comfort zone. Go for SC12. You never know what you're capable with in this business until you go for 1 more. You help 1 more, right? And I am one to tell you, don't go recruit 10 coaches. Yes, you just heard that from Beachbody Corporate. I want you to focus on quality, not quantity. And I'd rather you, if you're going to, most of my coaches recruit around 5. And then from there, I say, okay, out of the 5, how many are working coaches? And if you can say 3, 4, 5, that's great numbers. If it's 1 out of 5, you're not really connecting to your tribe. You're probably in the messaging that you're putting out there. But remember, quality over quantity. I want you to be able to help and lead them and guide them to success, not literally have 1 coach out of 10 and have 9 discount coaches. That is exhausting and overwhelming, okay? So you just heard that from Beachbody Corporate. I just allowed you to figure out who your avatar is and make sure you work towards helping fewer to success that you can handle. And then typically it's 5, okay? Anything less than that, then let's kind of look at that. But really, that's the numbers that I want to throw out there with you. But with the SC category, if you had no coaches hit in 2017, I have so many coaches that this has happened to, because all your working coaches were 2015, right? Now it's a building year. Serena's agreeing, and it's a building year. And we go through these cycles and these seasons all the time. So I would just say right now, this is your mission. If you had 0 coaches hit SC in January, go for 1 in February. Okay, don't push yourself and be like, okay, I'm going for 10. No, realistic. Okay, go for 1. If 1 was easy, go for 2. Oh my gosh, that already went by way too fast. We have 10 minutes. And then literally just try and build it. But let me just kind of put this out there. If you start with 0, okay, and you build 1 in February, 2 in March, and go up and up and up, your SC base is going to be over 5 for the entire year, which puts you typically in the top 200, 250 out of all the coaches in the network. It's huge. Okay, small, subtle choices right now will build to that year-end success. So don't throw in the towel. Don't feel like you're a failure. That's not it at all. But you need to really see, okay, this is where I need to go with it, okay? From there, the CPV and the PSPV category. I just want to ask Amalia, because she had 2 points in the CPV category. So will you tell us what amounted to your success, girlfriend? Oh, unmute yourself, please.
Is it category number 2?
And now I'm muted. It's category number 3, sweetie.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Customer personal volume. So same thing. You met customers where they were at, but kind of tell me more about that.
Well, I think what happened is that I think that what happened is it didn't happen in January. It actually happened in November and December because I started building those relationships early on. And we know that it's a delayed success. And so my whole team was freaking out because for the first time in my life, I hit 23 Success Club points in January. And they're like, well, what did you do in January? And so I think the secret to it is that what's happening 2 months prior. And so we're kind of in delayed effect constantly. And so November, December, we ran actually a Rockstar mentorship group to where we went all in for like 2 months, pushing for as hard as we can, invite as many as we can, and completely getting the now gratification out of the equation so that we can have that in January. And we based that off of the Miracle book and the 12-week year as well in December. And so I feel that the success in that category came from months prior. And so that's pretty much it. Higher Success Club numbers and giving them the results are helping me in that category.
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, so just going into it, because we literally have 7 minutes left, is the CPV and the PSPV category. I just want to help you understand this. So the whole point of it here is, of course, like we said, meet customers where they're at. If they're a customer, they're a customer. And I have a ton of coaches that obviously strived on discount coaches last year. And if you strive on helping, turning everybody to a discount coach, to be honest with you, you're going to suffer in that CPV category. So it's going to be, taking what Carl said, it's literally meeting them where they are at. If they're happy as a customer, keep them as a customer. Every time that you turn them into a discount coach, that takes money out of your pocket, meaning commissions. Okay, so you have to kind of look at it like most of the time they actually probably be happy as a customer, because if not, you need to remind them they're going to get a new coach welcome email. They're going to, and then if you put them into your team page, you may overwhelm them and eventually they will quit. So you literally need to meet them where they are at and stop robbing your own bank to help them get a discount. Of course, would you want to bring it up and share? Yeah, if that's what you like to do with your business, absolutely. I have Tulin Emery, who's amazing at that. She is a new elite coach, and she's like, I present the option no matter what, and then let them decide. Perfect. But just know, in order to really capitalize on that category and the PSPV category, so category 2 and category 3, you need 3 to 4 new coaches per month. That's for the PSPV. And you need, for the CPV category, same thing, 3 to 4 customers. And you're like, well, Britt, that's like SC 18. Yeah, it is. But if you start increasing your numbers and helping more people, it's going to come together. Now, if you can lower your numbers and have great success with it, awesome. But just know, when you're teaching that, they need to have 3 to 4 new coaches, right? And 3 to 4 new customers. Okay, if you do that, you're going to capitalize in both of those categories, which in both of those categories too, it's about getting the ball rolling. And it's what happens at the very first of the year. If you wait until the very last of the year after someone to create PSPV and CPV, I promise you it will be the hardest uphill battle, because it's like a snowball. It gets bigger, right? That's what you want to happen with this, okay? So just keep that in mind. Of course, SC, you know where that's at. But does that help kind of breaking it down that you need 3 to 4 in each of those? Okay. I think most of you will see a turn within your business on the next report, because you'll understand, okay, that's why, and that makes sense. And then keep in mind, how am I structuring my business? How am I talking about discount coaching? Am I actually, if they're a discount coach, am I meeting them where they are at? and not pushing them and hoping that they'll become an actual coach 1 year down the road. Okay? Stop that. If they're a discount coach, they are truly a discount coach unless they truly want it. All right? From here, there's that. I told you the SC base build by 1. From here, though, I do have a Google Doc that I am putting into our file section of our page. And the first tab is our monthly challenge. And so it talks about the drivers and the prizes. I know Doug talked about that. So check that out. And then the next tabs, you'll see your name. And literally you need to go in there and figure out your end of year goal. And then we're going to reverse engineer it. So end of year goal, 5-star diamond elite. Okay. Quarter 1 goal, I'm going to hit 2-star diamond or 3-star diamond, and literally you're going to break it out. Now, do I want you to fill out every single quarter? No, I want you to fill out your end of year goal and quarter 1. Okay. And then from there, we're going to build upon it. I don't need you to go formulate each quarter, just end of year and first quarter. Okay. And then from there, it asks you current rate, new coach ads, SC points, elite points, SC, and it breaks it down. So from there, what you put on your elite goal guide, you can put right into this Google Doc. This is something that everybody can see everybody's numbers. Okay. Are we okay with that? And just honestly, no shame. If you're struggling in an area, put it out there. Let us help you. Let us see, because there's going to be times where you're striving in an area and thriving and we'll need your help. Okay. But literally go in and fill this out. And it is actually what you hit, not your goal of what your goal was in January. Okay. So you're going to fill this out on the first of every single month. And you're going to take a picture of your elite goal guide filled out and sent to me personally. Okay, those are the ones I want sent to me personally. So then that way, if we need to have a conversation, meaning if you are struggling in one area, maybe I can give you some feedback. Maybe we can ask more questions. Good leaders ask great questions. That's really what it's all about on this. So I'll have that up and running in probably about 30 minutes in our page. But I just want to take the next 3 minutes and just ask you ladies what questions you have. I hope I was able to cover a lot of that.
Real quick, and this is kind of maybe bizarre, but does the Beachbody leads that we get, do those count towards PV? Like,
absolutely. Absolutely. You got it. Yeah. Great question. And Emily, to answer your question on your second CBC, yes, everything does roll up. The only thing that does not, if you place personal orders in your second CBC for yourself, you do not get personally sponsored personal volume. That rolls up to your upline. Okay. That's the only time. But like new diamonds that you do create in 2017, absolutely. The only difference is if you have rock stars take off in that, of course, that second CBC may go from diamond to 2-star diamond. Does that make sense? Of course, it can count as a diamond for you, but that's the only thing that's changed. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. What else? And Wendy, go ahead.
Sorry. I just was wondering if you guys or you, Brittany, have anything that you're doing or suggestions to help increase volume, like with your team? Like, do you do contests or do you do, like anything like fun to help with volume? I mean, obviously I know we're teaching them the activities, but anything else that you guys are doing that's working?
Yeah, we do like coaches only challenges where we will do like the 3-day refresh together, things of that nature. We'll just pick something to do as a group.
I love that. And if you have more for Wendy, I wrote that down. Let's definitely answer that on the next call if that's okay, because I don't want it to cut off on you. But I love that. Thank you, Sarah, for saying that. Have people, hey, Wendy, have everybody do the ultimate reset with you. Boom. She's been scared to do it. Okay, ladies, I'm going to say goodbye before we get cut off short, but thank you so much for taking your time today. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. I am in the office today until Wednesday. I travel to Denver, then I'm going to see my family, and so I won't be back until next Tuesday. So please, if you need anything, just message me. I'm always a message away, but I'm definitely here for all of you ladies, and I appreciate each of you showing up. All right. Thank you. You're welcome. Bye, ladies.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.